One of the words that we use for studentship is Adhikara. And what Adhikara means is competencies, the qualifications of a student. When I first heard this term, this phrase for studentship, I went to some of my own teachers, the tantric scholars, and I asked them to define for me in their own words what Adhikara means. When I went to Carlos Pomeda, I asked him, Carlos, what does Adhikara mean? And he said, it's a condition where the student is receptive, and that the student will go to the teacher and ask the question first. And then I went to my teacher, Douglas Brooks. And I said, Douglas, for you, what does Adhikara mean? He said, Adhikara is your natural proclivity, your natural gifts, and all the ways that you choose to cultivate these gifts as well. And then I went to Paul Muller Ortega, and I said, Paul, what is Adhikara? And Paul said, it's how you tend the ground within, so that when the teachings come, they can sprout and grow from inside out. In what way can I improve my own studentship in life? And for me personally, I feel that I'm in discipleship every single day of my life to the Mahashakti. Like I'm a student of life, a student of the goddess, a disciple of the Shakti herself, the Mahashakti. The Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 great elements of space, earth, water, fire, and air. If we start with space, Akasha, we ask ourselves, in the way of this element of ether and space, am I, as a student, being humble? Do I have a beginner's mind? And then when we go to the element of the earth, Prithvi, we ask ourselves, in the way of the earth's energy, am I grounded? Am I regular in my practices? Do I have a stamina and endurance for these practices? Do I really commit myself to the practices and to the teachings? Do I commit myself in this studentship, in this great discipleship? And then with the water element of Ap, say, how am I willing to flow in my studentship? How am I willing to be receptive and accommodating and to move in the energy of water? And the energy of water also holds deep compassion. And as I'm a student, on this path, do I have compassion for myself as I move one foot in front of the other in these practices? And then in the way of fire, of Ap, we ask ourselves, am I on fire for the teachings? Am I on fire in my heart's longing as a student? Is there desire? Is there longing? Is there aspiration? Do I really want the transformation that comes in the pathway of sadhana itself? And in the 5th element of air, of Vayu, we can ask ourselves, am I willing to be creative in my studentship? Am I willing to hear many different perspectives all at once, and to have a curiosity, to be intelligent in my studentship, but to have a deep inquiry and to be able to hold many different perspectives? And so then when we review our studentship in the way of the 5 elements, it just gives us insight, and we can then determine, maybe I want to ground myself and commit myself more, or invite deeper humility or a beginner's mind, or more fire and desire to the practice. And so we can play in this way on a cyclic basis and just go as deep as we can in our discipleship to the Mahashakti, to love itself. So enjoy the ride all along the way and enjoy the practices. Namaste.